I never wanted to do anything else. So I was like, I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to make this work however I can. And that is why I was always doing all those YouTube things that I did. That was because I know that people would see it and someone else would want me in their videos and someone else would want me on the video and maybe someone else would want me on the TV thing. But I've never ever considered another option. So yeah, you do have to be mentally strong. I left drama school in 2010 with a class of 53. There were 53 people in my year, which is the biggest year my drama school had ever had. There are, I think, 9 of us still acting. That's from 9 years. In 9 years, there are only 9 people out of those 53 who have continued acting. And that's because it's hard. And mentally, you have to be prepared. Some people couldn't handle the rejection. Going into an audition, going to an audition every week, really like trying really hard, learning your lines, studying, mentally preparing, telling your friends that you're not coming out because you've got to learn these lines, all of that sacrifices, and then not hearing back. Going in an audition thinking that you smashed it, never hearing anything again. Chasing up your agent, what did they say, what did they say, what did they say? Oh, I haven't heard anything back. That constantly, it's exhausting. And mentally, like a lot of people, I think you have to be mad to be able to continue doing it. And those 9 people probably are. I mean, thinking about who they are, yes, including myself. But like, yeah, it's hard, man. And they don't teach you that in drama school. They just expect that you know that like, you're going to get a lot of rejection and you're going to have to be ready to face that rejection or the industry's not for you. But I think I always knew, and like I said, since I was 4, I was like, this is what I want to do. And I've just chased that. And thankfully, people hire me now. It's a lot about sacrifice. You've got to mentally just believing in yourself enough to keep going. I mean, I think in a way, it's easier for me to say that than for others. A lot of people out of drama school didn't live with their parents. I lived at my mum's house. So I was able to continue chasing that and not having to worry so much about money. Obviously, that like I'd pay a little something, but it's not as much as some people, other people that went to drama school, and it is tough. It is really hard. So I was fortunate in that way, but I mean also unfortunate in other ways where there weren't the roles for black people. There weren't the roles that we were getting was either being chased by the police or like robbing someone or being the person that got robbed. It was that like I came out of drama school at that time. And fortunately it's changed since then. Everyone's on diversity and everyone wants to have a diverse platform, blah, blah, blah. But that has changed and there are more roles for people who look like me. When I was at drama school, people were saying you're going to do really well because you're black. I was very young when I went to drama school. I went straight out of college. I went at 18. A lot of the people that were at my drama school had already had degrees. They were older. They'd come from different countries. They'd had life experience. I had no life experience. In my course, on my year, first year of drama school, there was one other black boy. He got kicked out at the end of the first year. What I now know is that he was too real for them. I mean, he was South London through and through, and he was just like, yo, I'm here, like, what are you saying? And I think he wasn't able to adapt as well at the time. Well, I think he was able to, but he didn't want to. And I think in hindsight, I think if he was to look back at that, I think he would agree that he was able to, but he didn't really want to adapt. But at the same time, people found him quite I got him. I understood him, and I got him. I think people found him quite intense because he wasn't adapting to the fact that we were in a white space, and I don't think we should. I don't think we should have to. But at that time in 2010, I felt like that was the way that I was going to make friends, and that was the way that I was going to be accepted into this place, and that's what I did. Uh, would I do it again? Probably. I don't know. I wouldn't do it now at this age, but if I was 18 again, going into a drama school where a lot of people have got scholarships, a lot of people have degrees, a lot of people have had it paid for by their parents, I think I would try and adapt to my surroundings rather than be the kind of East London brother. So but people, by the time I got to third year, sorry, when I was leaving, there were 2 black boys in our year, a new guy, not a guy from the 4 that I mentioned before, and he was good. He was a good actor, but he wanted to go the music route, and he did, and he won shows, he won awards and stuff for his music. But he stuck to the music, and I was an actor. So I think a lot of the you do well because you're black came from that, because I was 1 out of 53. They were thinking about me going up for roles against them, which isn't what happens in the real world. That's not how the world works. I wouldn't be going up for roles against them. I'm going up for roles against 50 other black boys. Not in the industry, no. Not actual, like, overt, in your face racism. Nah. There were microaggressions, and there were a lot of, like, oh, well, why don't you rap? You can rap, right? Or oh, you must know how to street dance. Or, like, sort of, like, just people that I've never met before being like, oh, yeah, well, you get me, bruv. All that stuff, like, nonsense. It wasn't specifically overt racism, but there were a lot of sort of, like, little things. And I remember I did a Paddy Power advert. I got absolutely ripped off. I got bumped. I got paid £125, and I went to Sheffield and I shot an advert for a day for Paddy Power. I got knocked by the company, the Big RD they were called. Not me. Anyway, I accepted it, so my problem. But what am I saying? I was playing like a sort of exhibit character in Pimp My Ride, and it was about the Pope having a new car, and we were pimping the Pope's ride. And I remember we shot with this guy who was like in a garage, and it was just the weirdest thing of like me going out and being in like a loud tracksuit. That's what they wanted. And the guy said something about like, it was like, oh, I couldn't wear that, man. I'd look like an idiot, but you lot look great and all that. And I was just like, okay, like I get you're trying to say something nice, but like, what, you lot look great and all that stuff. Like, this was 2011. But even then, it's like, come on, bruv. Just take a second to think about what you're saying. For you to go like, oh, you lot look great and all that colourful stuff. It's like,